What's up, everybody? So this is going to be my first YouTube video, so really quick I'm just going to outline why I'm doing YouTube, why I'm making this video at all, or what this is going to look like if you decide to stick around and watch a couple videos. So over the next 6 months I'm going to be going through my first bodybuilding prep leading up into my first 2 bodybuilding shows. So this, right now, I'm in my first week of prep, right at the end of it actually. So first week of prep is about to wrap up. But YouTube for me is just going to be a fun little side project that I do to really just document this whole journey for me so that I can look back at it, or if I'm going through like a hard time later on in prep or something that I need to look back at and be like, hey, like that's where I was at one point. Look at where I'm at now. I've made so much progress over that time. Like whatever the case is, or it's just something for me to have for later to look back at. But YouTube is definitely not a priority for me by any means. This is just a fun little side project that I'm going to do in my spare time, and the videos aren't going to be super edited or well put together or anything like that. It's just going to be me recording a couple things that I do, vlog style type stuff. Probably be a lot of me talking, a little bit of me posing in the gym, and that's about it. I'm just going to talk about fitness-related stuff, bodybuilding mostly, and nutrition, daily stuff that's going on with me, so really just a vlog. But for today, we're going to go into armor, and we're going to do legs, but there's a couple things that I want to talk about before I go into the gym, and then, of course, I've got to chug down this before I go in there, which is the conglomerate of a bunch of different shit that I put together for my pre-workout, which doesn't taste the greatest, but it works and it gets the job done, so I chug it anyway. But before we go do legs, the one thing that I'm really concerned about that I want to talk about is I feel like when it comes to having goals or dreams or like something that you are really striving for, something you're really trying to get, that people who think about those things or have those goals, they think about them in 2 planes of thought, 2 different philosophies, if that's what you want to call it. One of them being speak it into existence, which would be, for example, if I was to say, I love bodybuilding, I want to be a pro bodybuilder, and I was to go up to every single person I know and tell them that outright, just so that I could freely speak my mind of what I want and tell myself that I know that I want that, I know I can get it, and just be vocal about it, not be afraid to tell anybody what I want, and not be afraid of what anybody else thinks, based off of what they hear me say. So that's one train of thought, and a lot of people think that way. And the other one would be shut up and do the work. And people who have this train of thought think more so you shouldn't vocalize what you want or your dreams to anybody, and instead you should just put in the work every single day, keep your head down, your headphones in, your hood up, and you shouldn't talk to anybody about your dreams. You just keep it locked in and let them see you win. Let them see you progress to the thing that you want until you get it, and then just let them be in shock and awe when you get there. And there's no reason to boast about it or to say you're going to do it. Just do it. Now, I agree with both. I think that both of these are something that you need or that is necessary in order to get the dream or the thing that you want. And I think they go hand in hand the whole time. The reason I say that is because you have to be willing to tell yourself that you want something, to vocalize in your mind or just out loud that you are willing to do whatever it takes to get to the thing that you want. And if anybody is to ask you about it, you have to have the confidence to be like, that's what I want, that's what I'm going after. For me, that's becoming a professional bodybuilder. And I'm never afraid to say it. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about it. That's my goal, that's my dream, and that's where I'm going to get to. Now, the caveat to that is you have to not care what anybody says and say what you're going for and what you want with full confidence, 100% belief in yourself. But just saying words does absolutely nothing. If you say that every single day, look yourself in the mirror with 100% confidence and you're like, I got this, I'm going to be a millionaire. If you don't do anything, guess what? Not going to fucking happen. So that's where the other school of thought comes into play. You can say that all day long, but you also have to shut the fuck up and do the work. You got to put your head down and you got to grind every single day to get to the thing that you want, that you say you want, but it doesn't come without the work. So that's why those two things go together. You got to put in the work every day and be able to confidently vocalize what you want. Because I feel like the people who hate on being able to say what you want, to speak it into existence, the people who hate on that, they either think that they're all talk, they're not going to do it, or they think that talking doesn't do anything. For me, what it means is that if you're confident to tell me with a straight face what you want and what you're willing to do to get it, I've got a little bit more belief in you that you're going to do it. If you're too sheepish or too afraid to tell somebody what you want or what your goal is, then you're sure as hell not brave enough to go after it. If you can't even talk about it, if you can't tell like a trusted friend or hell, just some random stranger on the street, if you can't tell somebody what you want, how the hell are you ever going to go after it? How are you ever going to have the motivation or drive to get to that thing, the discipline to get to that thing? If you can't even vocalize it, you can't even say it to somebody because you're too afraid of what they might think of you or what they're going to say about you. So, moral of the story to all of that is, A, don't give a shit what anybody has to say about your dreams and your goals. B, be able to vocalize what you want. Speak that shit into existence and say what you want with no fear of what anybody else is going to think. And C, after you've done all that, put in the fucking work every single day. Because if you don't, nobody's doing it for you. I promise. Nobody's going to jump out of a bush and run over to you wherever you are and be like, oh, please God, let me help you. Let me help you get your dream, because I don't have anything going on. It's never going to happen. Nobody's ever going to do that. You'll be lucky if people support you. You have to put in the work. You got to be the one that goes forth and conquers and does the shit that needs to get done in order to get what you want. And as far as getting support from other people, 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to believe into you until it's almost done. Nobody's going to think it can be done until it is done. So, don't take too much stock in what other people have to say, and go after the things that you want with no fear. So, that's my 2 cents on motivation and discipline and what you should do about your dreams and goals, which I think a lot of that, and it's a very big part of my life. So, feel the need to clear the air on that, especially in the first video. But as far as how my prep's going to go, I'm in week 1 right now. This is the end of week 1, and so far diet hasn't changed at all. Macros are still the same as they were in my off season. I've been in my off season for 2 years now. I work with Team Pro Coach, the guys over in the UK. Alex Gates is my coach. Amazing guy, great coach. If you need a bodybuilding coach, that's the guy to go to. The man knows exactly what he's talking about, and I've made substantial progress working with him. Can't thank him enough. But calories for me right now are the same as they were right at the end of our off season before we started prep last week. And the only changes we made is we increased cardio expenditure from 10 minutes after every lifting session to 20 minutes. And we increased my steps daily from 12,000 to 14,000. So now I do 14,000 steps every day, and once I'm finished with my leg workout, I'll have to do 20 minutes of cardio, but that's no big deal. 20 minutes is nothing. You throw on a YouTube video and it goes by, like that. But I think that's all I'm going to ramble on for now, and I'm going to chug this pre-workout, throw on a metal song, listen to it in the car really quick, and then once my mind set's right, put the hood up, go inside, and get to work. I'm going to be posing inside the next time you see me, so we'll just cut to that really quick. It's leg day, so it's just going to be all of my leg posing, but I'll see you guys inside. Alright, so the workout's over. Me and Thorpe, who's sitting over there, we just finished doing legs. I actually do legs and arms right now. My programming is very weird, but it's because in the beginning of my off season while we were training, we realized that my legs and my back got biggest the fastest, so we needed my chest, shoulders, and arms to catch up. So now I only train back and legs once a week, and on my leg day I also have to train arms. But I'm just going to run through like a couple little posing things for legs, stuff that I think looks good. We actually haven't started official posing practice from like Alex to me yet, but I assume he's going to start giving me that very soon. But for now, let's just see what we're working with today. Yeah, I can definitely tell I've gotten just a teeny tiny bit leaner from the inside of my thigh up towards the top. Yeah, that looks nice. This is probably my favorite shot to do. Ignore the extremely wild lineup, or wind up I should say. Yeah, that's nice. Get that line to pop out in the glute. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's hit the other one. The lighting in here is weird, so each side that I hit looks a little different, but it's all right. Still got to practice both sides. Yeah. It's weird. The trick with this is to flex your calf and your glute as much as you can, but relax your hamstring so it hangs down and looks as big as possible. You need to put your weight on that foot closest to the mirror, but then push your knee across to bring out your hamstring more. It looks good. Yeah. See if I got any lines popping through with the hamstrings and the adductors yet. Take a peek. Now, I'm not going to know what that looks like until I edit this video later, but I'm willing to bet it looked pretty damn great. But that's all I'm going to do for leg day. Now, I'm going to head back out into the car. Actually, excuse me, got to go do 20 minutes of cardio. Then, I'm going to head back out into the car and eat meal number 4. I'm 3 meals deep into the day. I normally like to train after 3, and then I've got 3 left. So, I will see all of you in the car. Workout is wrapped up. Back in the car now. So, posing on leg day, I normally just run through like a basic random amount of stuff that I can think of. I pretty much do the same thing for any of my upper body days. I just run through like all the mandatories that I can think of, or just like anything I think looks cool, and then I just call that posing practice. But here soon, Alex is going to work out like what I actually need to be doing for posing practice. But again, we're 6 months out, so we have plenty of time. And something I wanted to talk about really quick, which is like, why am I on prep 6 months out? So, reason being, my first prep. Also, we're prepping for 2 shows, and I have a decent amount of body fat that I need to come off. Also, it's going to take a while to get the body fat off because I'm still natural at this point. So, currently being natty, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to get all the way to the level of lean that I would like to be at, which is striated glutes and absolutely peeled out of my mind, which is going to be miserable. I'm going to be suffering. It's going to be probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and that's saying something. But it just makes me excited. Honestly, I am more excited for prep and to see like what I've built over the last 2 years come to fruition at the end of prep than I have been the whole time. I am so excited. I can't wait to be suffering and miserable because I know exactly where it's going to lead me. So I want to get in it, and I want to be in that, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing this for. But for now, we're in the car, and I have meal 4, which is normally my post-workout meal, but it's about a cup to a cup and a half of green beans, 90 grams of banana, then 120 grams of 99% lean ground turkey, and this is going to sound really weird, so bear with me. I try to mix up the savory and sweet as much as I can to give myself like a little refresher for my palate. So this is white rice with Walden's Farms maple syrup on it and almond butter. So one, it's a good way to get the carbs in, and two, I got to eat rice again. So this is a way to make it sweet instead of savory. Some of my other meals, I put like an egg on top with like salt, pepper, garlic, stuff like that to make it savory. But for the later meals, in the end of the day, I try to make it a little sweeter. And then I also do, this is a cup of just like black tea with a supplement in it called colostrum, which is just like to help with your joints and stuff. But it's got 50 grams of, or not 50 grams of carbs from honey in it. So this is, actually no, I said that wrong. My intro workout is 50 grams of carbs. This is 26 grams. So the reason I started doing the honey is, one, because it makes the colostrum taste better, and I'm trying to take that anyway. But I started doing this back when we were peak bulk, like in the middle of the off season. I was 230 at that point, and like I couldn't eat any more rice, so I just started drinking tea with honey in it. But now, just to make the colostrum taste better, because I have to take that anyway. And honestly, it tastes fucking horrible without the honey in it, or the tea. But yeah, that's how I get that down. Right now, I'm sitting at about 198, and my weight cap for my division, because of my height, I'm like 5'8.5", is 194, but I'm not going to be 194 on stage. Like, my rough guess is I'll be like 175 to 180, which I think that'll look good. But there's going to be a lot bigger guys, obviously, because I'm still natty. But I'm not really worried about it. I'm just here to get the first 2 shows out of the way and get some time up on stage, some practice up on stage to help progress me further into my career and see where we're at right now, but also just to go through the entire prep, the entire process of bodybuilding before we get more serious with my career with bodybuilding and move up a couple steps. A few of you probably know what I mean by that, but for now, I'm going to down this meal. I got a birthday party that I'm actually going to, which is for me. So I'm going to go to the house, meet up with the family, the friends, and do that whole birthday dinner stuff. I've actually still got about 6,000 more steps to do. So once everybody leaves, I'm going to do 6,000 steps. But I'm not eating cake and all the shenanigans that are going to be at the birthday party. I'm just going to eat my meal prep. But that's because I want to. Like, this is the only thing that I give a shit right now about. So it's not even tempting. Like, I'm going to have a good time one way or the other, and I'm just going to enjoy my time with everybody. Like, you can go out and do things and have fun with people, and you don't have to stray away from your goals. You don't have to be like, oh, well, I'm going out with my friends, so now I need to eat an extra 4,000 calories and get drunk off my ass. Like, are you kidding? That's the most ridiculous bullshit excuse I've ever heard in my life. Like, you can do anything, nearly, and still, like, stay in line with your goals. And if you can't do that thing and stay in line with your goals, don't do it. Like, have some willpower. Anyway, I'm going off on another rant, but this was the first YouTube video. This is for the whole first week of prep, and not sure when I'm going to make the next one, but it'll probably be for the second week of prep unless I decide to make one tomorrow. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Eat your food, drink your water, get plenty of sleep. Everybody have a good one.